Come on, microphone. There we are. Cool beans. Looks like we're all here and rolling. Wonderful. Sweet. Dip in there, but we've bashed the limiter on, so no one's going to get deafened. Sweet. So all I plan to really do is noodle about on this track. Maybe try and flesh some idea out of it till about 12 o'clock. So I've got about an hour and a half, which is fun. Thought I'd just jump on. Any questions, anything, throw it in chat as always. But yeah, I'm just going to be working for the most part. I'll try and remember to check chat every now and then. Let's see. Mic wise, that should be a bit better. Sweet. Cool. So we were somewhere around here trying to figure out some kind of melody idea to run along the track. In about an eighth. And it should be working with that and that and those, I'd guess. I played that in, which is why the timing kind of jumps, but I'm going to just tighten that up a bit. Like that, like that. I like that, but I'm going to move it to here. That works better. Cool, and that's like the bit that brings it home. And to be honest, I might just loop that and then do like the second layer with a larger chord structure under it. That's actually the pad, and then I've done this like messed up was the best way to put it, like lo-fi vocal thing. It's got a delay and a pitch correction that comes after it, and it's off time, but I've set it so it's off time, so it should like harmonize with everything else. So it comes in and it's off the grid or off time, then swings back in and harmonizes that with everything. I was liking that idea, like concept. So that little like motif, find out what I want to carry on there. I think what I'll do is I'll take my MIDI here and I'll just stick it over here at the end, so I've got it. If I ever want to come back to any of those ideas there. For the most part now, work off of that loop there. Have that same motif happen. I need to have this same vocal off time like that. See how that works. kind of feel like we don't need this run here. Maybe even go silent for the have that and just have like a little pause here with a single note and then kind of sign off with that motif. That last note in, just have to shorten it down like that. Even work kind of that and then bump up an octave. Let the velocity way down. Feels about right there. Oh. Does it all work in context, or does it sound like a heap of all right. I'm mostly happy with that. An idea. I think that second run, we need to figure out some kind of change. It's whether we fit more chords in there underneath. Right. I don't know. What's that? Come with me and I will show you. Maybe. Just that tiniest little difference. Second time we come round. I do wonder if it would benefit just a little bit. 1 on the 8. Like bit. Well, this is a crosstalk piano. I've never used it until yesterday morning. I'm hoping there's a way in here to compress it. But it doesn't look like it. No effects. Okay. Each thing's separate. There's no like overall effects on it though. No. Okay. I'm going to steal that LA2 there. Compress it a little bit harder than that even. I like the melody overall, but there's just some tone in that piano. It's not quite sitting right. I thought that compression might help bring it out. Might just look to EQ it away though, because I do like the overall tone. Probably going to be one of these harmonics here, isn't it? Let's figure out which ones. Right there. That tone right there. Do you agree with me? Why is that not gaining up? What the hell? Oh, I've never had that bug before, ever. Oh. Give that extra. For sure you do is we'll dynamically control that because we can. A little bit sooner. Move that low end while we're here as well. Press that a little bit less now. All right. Still not entirely happy with how that melody's working. Something we can do with it. Firstly, when I quantized, I snapped all of them bang on the grid, and having a little bit of flam was quite nice. I think the same again. Bit of flam on those chords. I think maybe having that sit there might work better with the whole rhythm of it. Curiosity without it entirely. Yeah. flam on there again. I think that's unnecessary as well. It's too complex for its own good. Mute those two. I've just gone too hyper. Space where there isn't a note is just as important as well, right? Theory. I'm going to soften that chord. Soften. Yeah, see the first chord that comes in is way like chill on the velocity. So I think that can have the same kind of feel. So the higher pitched notes. Softer ones. That. See, that's nice. We have soft chord, a little bit of a harder chord here, the quick little one, and soft again. So we get more of an ebb and flow. Taking those notes out, it doesn't feel all rushed. We don't need that little transitional note. I'm going to take those away on the second run through as well. Now that's velocity. Or not needed. That going up is nice. That needs to be a quieter tone. So does that. Yeah, it doesn't overwhelm it now. It lets it ramp up, which is nice. Right, so we need to flam these other chords, which I just forgot about accidentally fixing when I hit quantize before. Oh, this doesn't necessarily hurt. Bit of subtleness in them, and we want to bring you down. Then I want the highest note, quietest, like so. Let's see how that runs across the whole like 8 bars. Do I love it? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. The third note of like that lower chord I've introduced there, I think I should have landed it right there instead. Morning, Robert. How are you doing, bud? I hope all is well. Okay, the lo-fi vocal weirdness that I've got going on, I appreciate. It's a super weird kind of sound. I need this to be a little louder here. I want to add some texture to it. What I might do, yeah, I like this tool here. Not that much. There's vinyl crackle in here, which I like. Crank the speed up to 130. Tape adding the super filthy texture. Roger. That's more like what we're after. Just in case you're wondering what the hell we're listening to, there's this lo-fi vocal little chop thing that I put in, and I've pitched it up in various ways. If you listen to any of the new tracks I've been putting out, that kind of stuff's all over it. This. And without pitch correction. And then that's going into a bus, which is delayed, pitch shifted, and now tape corroded. But it's set off time, but it's set so the delay brings it back in time. Which just kind of, I just liked the idea of this random vocal comes out of time, but it's then back in time when it's kind of disrupted. It's just to like harmonize with everything else, which does work for me at the end. Right, that's the idea and concept. That's just what I wanted to do to it there. My brake keeps clipping, so I should probably look at fixing that. Because that kick there hits as hard as hell, even though it's probably gained down significantly. The R bass doing that. And that. Maybe we could take R bass down by 3. Still a beastly kick. Lazy thing to do would be bash something on this brake bus to kind of glue it, but now it's okay. It's not as if it's clipping and sounds awful. Actually come to do a proper mix down, then it'll be somewhat more important, right? Right, so now that first chord, even though is super mellow, a little bit loud, I want to make it even softer like that. I'll take the higher tones. So House of Kush is an awesome channel. I do watch it. I disagree with loads of stuff that he says, even though I know who it is. The person who taught me worked a very, very different way. Very different way. It's a great channel without a shadow of a doubt. He pushes really heavily towards the band style of mixing, which is what I would suggest. Gregory also never uses DS plugins. He prefers doing it manually. He says it gives a better result using volume automation to duck out sibilance. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Absolutely can. That is the luxury of having time to do that all the time. And actually sit and work on tracks like that. It wouldn't necessarily work in something like this, right? This type of production. Unders, do you have tutes for D&B drums then? Yes, and yes. I did a whole series a little while ago with like basic D&B breaks, percussion, like getting the whole swing and feel of everything. So yes is the answer. What each one's called right now, I could not tell you. Some of the most popular videos on the channel though. One thing you'll learn about my channel is I might get 100 views on one video and 100,000 on the next. I mean, I'll break down this drum break very, very quickly. There are these lo-fi break, which is a terrible quality break. That's just adding like a rhythm and a fuzzy top end. There's then this sampled break, which I open up Quick Sampler will tell me what it is, maybe. It says deep rolling break. It's like a congery type break that's in there as another layer. Give me like loads of shuffle and kind of a natural feel. So them two together. So we're filling up loads of high end with that kind of shuffly space. We've got something else shuffling a little bit lower below. We've got punch kick, which is just a really overcompressed kick sample. Gained down 3 dB, probably because it was just way too loud when I've dropped it in. I've used R-Bass. R-Bass is adding a harmonic at 61 Hertz. And then Pro Q, just taking out the extreme sub. So that's this. That gives us that real rhythm to it, or real like fundamental weight. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if we look over here on the left in what's called the inspector, like if I press I, this thing over here, transpose 3, so I brought it up 3 semitones to tune it in with everything else. It was obviously too low, I've brought it up. This is in B minor, so I've brought it up to probably the B fundamental, which I'm pretty sure is also why I would have done 61 Hertz. In fact, if we open up Pro Q, 61.7 is the like lowest B note, so that's why that's in there. That's just building up all that extra weight. So without R-Bass, that's the kick, and R-Bass adding that fundamental right where we want it. And then my snare, literally it's called my snare sharp because it cuts through in every mix. And that's probably, I tend to tune that in here. So that's tuned down -7 semitones to bring that 1 octave above the kick. So the kick and snare are harmonically playing the game, the B, 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 right? They're tuned and they're always cutting through. And it also means if we've got a bass note, the kick sits with the bass note and the snare is always in tune with it. Or if there's a chord, it sits in there. It doesn't go in between anything and ever clash. Really, there's the fundamental of it. There's the top end shuffle. We'll kind of fill in that middle space. That's it for that break, really. I feel like it needs a shaker, like some real top end. Otherwise, that's it. I'll break down the bass real quick as well. I had a Brute analog synthesizer, and I spent a few days just getting every sound I could out of it. I made a bunch of patches as well. I really love this track. Thank you. I appreciate that you love the track. I'm not in love with it yet, but we'll keep working on it for a bit. So the snare +7 above the kick sounds nice too. Yeah, whatever works for the track and whatever space you've got in it, for sure. What was I going to say? Yeah. So I had the Brute. I've recorded loads of those out. This is just recorded from the Brute. As you'll see, there's a shed load going on the channel. It sounds like this. Pretty classic low rolling D&B bass. That is filling up all of our low end. Currently, it's not gated or anything like that. You can literally look at the waveform and see that I set the LFO so that it kind of gates itself or kind of sidechains itself. Sound design trick there to save you something, so it's sort of already done to what we need. And it does go to a wide bus. So if I mute the wide bus, there's our like central, or the bus processing that. Gives it that widespread but keeps all the mono compatibility, which is why it's on an aux and why it's set up the way it is, with, you know, reverb on the bass and real ADT, sort of the trick there that helps that work. So we're artificially spreading it, then pumping it into a reverb, which adds loads of delay and repeat harmonics. Then channel EQs, actually dropping it 24 dB and is on mid only, meaning it's just leaving the sides and taking the mids down 24 dB so they don't clash. And then there's two compressors on there, just really gently catching the wavy bits that kind of escape from doing all that gnarly processing. That gives us that big fat wide bass. Take it out of the track. Basically nothing there, is there? It's just hollow shit sounding. Just not sold on this piano line. It needs some kind of melody. And I do think this melody works, but I think maybe this isn't the right tone. It's somewhat of a jarring melody, but again, it's supposed to work with these lo-fi vocal chops and this sampled pad, which is what started the whole track. Which it does call and response to those pretty well. I just think it's maybe not the right tone. The melody's there. I'm using a brand new instrument. Let's just flick through some of these crosstalk piano sounds and see what they've got. I haven't heard it enough yet. Yeah, fair. Do I drink coffee? No, I have drunk 2 cups of coffee in my entire life. That's definitely not the source. Why was that leaving so many harmonics in the background? That was weird. That's still not it. Still not the source that I'm after. I'll have to keep flicking through sounds. Wondering if like an obnoxious lead might actually work. I just can't think of what direction to take it in. Don't need those plugs on there. What could we use? Don't need to reach for serum for once, that's for sure. So something like that, obviously not that aggressive. Maybe. Eee, what was that? Something there clashed wildly, didn't it? No? There then? Timing of that being so off. I think, actually, if we make this a really like slidey legato type thing, that might work quite nicely. Open high for friggin' ages. So poly, legato, voices, transpose down. I've left a chord in, yeah. So we could step it up, so it could step up like that, potentially. That as a step down and got rid of those. that. Down with that. That's legato. It's more of a slide. Nightmare. I did that, all of that on the piano. So undo that whole lot. I heard immediately that I'd done that. Oh, where did I fuck this up? Must have been. That right there sounds terrible. That flurry up there. Get rid of that for sure. Maybe step up with those two. That's not needed. It's the late note there. I'll take the piano and pad out. Yeah. The idea is there, the execution just isn't good enough. It actually works quite well without the pad, so it could give me some room to just do this. But if we delay that lead, evening / morning cold. How are you, man? It sounded nice, man. Just swinging by briefly. Keep going. Will do, dude. I'm going to hang around till about 12 o'clock. I'm supposed to be working on a project today, but I just can't be bothered. Always good to catch some full production streams. Can't stick around for long, but we'll be catching the replay for sure. Appreciate it, Mick. Thank you very much. It's fun sometimes to show that the ideas don't just always fall out, and sometimes they have to be chiseled over repeat and repeat terrible ideas. Just want that lead to have a little bit more mid presence and take off them extreme highs. Let the hi-hat and shuffle that do that work. The delay's working all right. It's apparently almost entirely reverb. Yeah, could potentially spread it with a chorus, but the idea, I don't think the melody is good enough. I'm not entirely sure. I think something to fill that space is right. Is that lead the right sound? I don't necessarily think so. But something in that vein. Have a little flick through. I feel like eventually I'm going to hit on the right sort of sound. At the minute, I just can't think of what it could be. I tend to always like veer to strings, but I mean, that's in the same vein as the pad and the vocal, right? I kind of wonder if we can have it without the pad. Leave the lead over there for the time being in case we come back to it. Copy it over here for a sec. Trim that start point and have it so I can loop it. Can we have it without the pad, then bring the pad in for the second 8, and then it completely switches up over here? Don't know what we're going to do with that yet. No, that's better for a second 8 because it lets the bass take more focus. We can have like that and probably ramp the bass up a bit in that second part. I don't know. Yeah, that works because the bass can then like really take hold and the brass sections work nice there. think we can play around with the octaves. Key moments like here. Got that little ring there. We can throw that up an octave and just have that little like moment that will catch the ear and then bring it back down. Like that. I think that works quite nicely. And we don't have to repeat that later. That can be only happening at that moment. I think that's quite nice. Okay. I am just going to take the drum break. So I've got the drum break here on the bus. Just going to knock it back just 1 dB. It is a little too aggressive, and I think that's taken away from some elements at times. I think knock the snare back a dB as well. Another half dB off the bus. But by no means mixing, just trying to help myself be able to listen and flesh the idea out. I think we're getting somewhere. I like that. I'm tempted in this little, I did like this old break that I've used, it's got a little filter bit at the end. Tempted to play around with the think break in there. Okay. And there goes monetization for the channel. Oh shit, that's like the whole thing. Is that the break? At least. Copy you. Up there. That kind of works. For that little moment, pick out the lows. And in the think break, you've always got these aggressive shakers up here. Don't need to filter them out, but just control them at a high level. They're horrendous. Just in those moments. Just a little throwback to where we came from. Need to take the volume of it way back, probably like 6 to 9 dB. There it is. It's just there for your ear to pick up on what will happen. A grand total of 4 times in the whole track. Sorry if anyone's left messages in the chat. Mine says it's disconnected. But I'm back. Okay. That's off. That coming off. Yeah, let's use the best tool in the world to make ourselves a nice little noise riser in here. It's always my example tool for when companies like Wave say, oh, we need to pay for updates because the OS has changed and our tools don't work anymore. So that's another $1.99 this year, please. It's this guy here that's not been updated for, I think 2018 was the last time. And it still works. It's buggy. It is not flawless. But it still works. And has done for decades. Never seen it. I think, what the hell is that? But it is an incredibly useful tool. And I'll show you why. I'm going to put one note there on the key that we want. Drop it down an octave. Each octave is a different timing. And immediate riser. I don't want the sweep, however, and I don't want the chord. I can build a nice noise riser out of here pretty quickly. Now, I was saying it's buggy, and because it's not been updated for so long, you can't like choose these menus. You have to use your mouse wheel on them if you can get them to work. Okay. That can be fun, figuring that out. Like the delay I want on the specific one. There we are. But it's doable. I want the resonance to pitch down over time. I want the filter to sweep up quite drastically, but not max out because it gets too harsh. Up around 9K. Level amp will start it at like -9 and let it build up to 0. There we go. I don't want so much of a pitch up in the noise though, so we'll level that off quite a bit. And hall wise, want more of a mix. Delay wise, that's okay. Right, so we can give it a bit of volume back because we controlled the amp. We have now built a nice little noise riser. Control the filter where I want it to start. So maybe we'll start in more like the 400s. Nice. Nice one. Thanks for letting me know the chat's working. I had the problem forever that it randomly disconnects on me. It's probably because I don't use paid streaming software, because I don't usually stream all that often, to be fair. A cup of tea left, or a little bit. That is cold. Happy days. Right, I'm going to copy that now, and I'm going to make another one right below. We're going to just extend the note out, and we can drop it an octave, and that will double it in length again. This time I'm going to use the sweep rather than the noise. Don't want it nearly as extreme as that makes it. I don't want that LFO to change nearly that much. We don't want the oscillator to change nearly that much. Do need So now the entire start is basically a build-up. However, that noise, a little bit of grating on the ear, and that. So what we might have to do is bring it up a little bit in terms of frequency. Start it, ramp up a little bit quicker. Start super quiet, and we can make it start even quieter if we want to control it. But we're now building up and ramping up over that whole intro section. Then we can automate it so it doesn't fade out quite as long and like maybe ends right on that crash. But for now, I'm happy with that. We will use our noise sweep again here, but we'll use the shorter version of it because we made two with the different notes. We can just drag them and chop them and change them, which is lovely. So we'll use our noise transition just here. Don't want it to be that long this time. So this time I can just bump it up an octave. Half the note length. Should be spot on for us straight away. I think, however, we're going to have to make a new version of it and bring that filter down a bit lower, like that. There we go. So it's not whistling to us the whole time. Go. That just comes in too loud. Drop that back about 3 dB. All right, there's definitely lots of little bits to do, but the main section here, getting close to happy with ish. One thing I do like to do at this stage, kind of just whack a limiter or something on and really crank the track and see if it is going to hold the right kind of vibe. Quite a nice time to use like Ozone 11's limiter, like the smart mastering, whatever the hell it is referred to now. Like I've got a limiter on there, but that's literally for you guys, so I can't blow any ears out. If I go on here, do like the quick master, can kind of give me an idea of where we're at. So I go to custom and use plastic, and then we'll take the limiter off for the maximizer down. It's taking like all of my sub out. I massively disagree with. 4 dB. Just put a gain match on and I can bypass it. Okay. But it's all right. It's got a sound field to it. Everything's kind of there, but there's no like energy to it for me. There's nothing that kind of makes it move and feel right. I feel like it's this melody aspect. But like I can kind of get down to just this. Not gonna lie. Temptation to just strip it back to just that. It truly is a temptation to just strip it back to that bare element. Like this whole track started from this pad thing. But I might just take it out of the track. Yeah, and just go. Keep a copy and rebuild. Yeah, for sure. I say this all the time, like I think I've put something like 60, maybe 70 tracks out in total. I must have 500, 700 scrapped, half finished ones that have the ideas never come out fully. It's the truth, though. You know, it is the truth at the end of the day. Like, a lot of like YouTubers and whatnot will act like everything they make is like finished and this pristine thing. Like, I don't. Maybe that's the case for some, but Christ, no. I have to like find something and chip away at it for a long time sometimes. As proven here, right? And there is definitely something here. But I think a more stripped back track is here. And I think what we've got here, maybe with a vocal, yeah, since we're here, I can. I'm doing good, Dennis. Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in. I'm just debating. It involves a lot of faffing around to change sessions, but bringing up unfinished tracks. So, as you can see, most of the things I've had open recently are sample pack stuff. One sec. I don't think you'll be able to see any changes on my screen right now, but let me see if I can find proof and point of tracks that have had a lot of work gone into them, but have never actually come to anything. That might be one that we can open. No. What did we do with that? That was, well, yeah, that's definitely an idea that fell apart, but that'll take ages to open. Where is, what was well, that tune is finished. I'm trying to put a video together for that for ages, but let's open that up and break that apart. Give me 2 ticks. Probably have to switch over and switch audio. Close. Can do this. You can see me in full HD. So I'm just going to open up a track which the project's going to say at peace, but it will be all night long, I think, if I've named it right, when it actually comes out. I've been working on the video for it for yonks. It's just taking a really long time. But like this track has gone through so many iterations and like variations. If you followed the channel for a while, you've probably heard it. Can you hear it is the question. Maybe if I do this. Let me know if you can hear that playback now. The thing I like about Logic, it's super organized. FL Studio does some stuff a hell of a lot better. Hell of a lot better for FL. The fact you can freely route anything for sound design. Logic's always organized, and when you're working like this track here is 44 tracks, for example. If I press A, all the automation for that track lives within that track and nowhere else. FL Studio can just become some kind of wild mess, which is part of the nature of it for free routing. The other reason is I worked for Apple for 8 years delivering training sessions on Logic for podcasting, for business, as well as Final Cut. So I spent more than a decade, it's what, 12 years, so I left in 21, like 13, maybe 14 years of using it every day. So that's another reason it's time to learn something else. Ableton tried to bring me over when I was doing loads of training for some other companies, and like I spent a day with it and I just couldn't get anywhere because I just was so used to ingrained in working in this. And then before that I worked with FL all the time. Anyway, my point being, like, iterations of tracks that have never gone anywhere. This I would say is somewhere near finished. It's called something else, or was called something else. There's the difference to something that's almost there. So I know that this isn't like the final version that I've cut into the video, or am in process of, because this drops out on certain parts. No, this drops out on certain parts. Yeah, but again, the iterations this went through, there's so many variants of it, and it took a lot of chipping to get it to this point. And this project's from 2023. We're coming towards the end of 2024 now, and I still haven't managed to finish it out. Tell you what, since you guys are here, let me see if I can open up the video for it. It's going to be tricky, I think. Don't know if it will run. Where would you be saved? I'll give you a little preview of what the video should be or will be if it ever comes round. Actually, is it in here? That's just the asset files for it. Yeah, have a listen to it while I figure out if I can do this or not. I like wait, still away. I've been waiting all night long. No matter what, I still be here with you. I could have done it more wrong. I like wait, still away. I've been waiting all night long. No matter what, I still be here with you. I could have done it more wrong. I saw you there the first time. I thought that I would love you. Thought I would run, make love. I was on the marathon. big time. Working with vocalists is hard though. This was all sampled. Might even be Splice. I don't remember. Right, hang fire. I'm going to try switch over and parts of the video. Yeah, I've got like some edits of the video. Yeah, I'll show you how some of the elements will come together. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on a live stream because it takes like all of the power of the machine. But let's see if I can source, change you, DP. That seems like you can see 99% of Final Cut, so that should be all right. Down here is all the effects and whatnot. Cool beans. So, working on animated video, which takes a disgusting volume of time, using AI assets for the most part, and then hand animating with a tool called Puppet. We zoom in, talk about iterations of tracks and whatnot. If this will play in real time. Yeah, super jerky, but oh, so that's taken like 3 weeks just to do those sections. But like the rain asset is handmade, and then rain floor asset to the side is handmade. Like the color profile over it, that image with everything cut out in the middle, handmade. Rain for the floor, handmade. More floor rain, handmade. And that's just to do like that one shot of a few frames, just to get that. Done the same thing for like these guys standing here. So we've got the wall and then them, and then animated them with Puppet. Just all been a massive hassle in terms of like iteration of trying to get something together, which is why doing everything as one person is a nightmare. Like, just all that shit. Making the guys walk, nightmare. And then there was like ending. We'll just play through the ending. Disintegrating them, that took ages. But yeah, that's why stuff takes so long to get out. And the effort to put it all together. You can see my licenses for Arturia now. Where's Logic gone? Boom. Yeah, if only it was that, right? PC will have a heart attack. Well, fortunately, I've got a 12 core 96 gig RAM machine at this point. I can do multiple stuff at once. Yeah, it still doesn't always like it for sure. Iterations of tracks. Like if I go to 2020 was a weird year. I don't know if you can see. Let me make it so you can see my folders and files. So there, look. Explain very basically, like purple is maybe keep working on it, red is scrapped, blue is take something from it for like sample libraries or anything like that. So like 2020, I didn't put a single track out all year until right at the end where I put winter out. So they're basically all scrapped, or I've pulled other stuff out of them. Like She's the Devil, for example, that's got a full vocal track and everything to it. Never finished it. decided to scrap the entire track. That's like the original version of it. Let's open that up. I've not touched this for a few years at this point. Might take a moment to open for sure. But that is the nature of it, right? See all those scrap tracks, all that work. 2020 was a rough year, to be fair, for a lot of people. But I didn't put any of that out. There's ideas in there. There's things that took days of work that will never be finished. That is just the absolute reality. I think this is going to be probably the prime example of we got vocals down, there were layers and all sorts, automation data converted, sure. Yeah, it's that old, the project is out of date. Should eventually open. There'll probably be plugins in here that I don't use either anymore. Let's see, yeah, CLA Mixdown. I'm not paying to update any more of those. Okay. So look, all of this, we've got 61 tracks. There are so many vocal takes. I scrapped the whole idea. I think a bunch of these probably won't play because they're in Complete Control, and I don't think I've got Complete Control installed anymore. It seems like there's nothing there. Oh, hang on. Hybrid keys has shown up. All right, we'll see. Some of them might play then. Even when you have a band, man, stuff gets scrapped. I promise you.
Got me hypnotized. I look into her eyes. You're not even my type. I'm falling for your lies. You blurred my vision and focus. Now I am so lost in it. I try and walk to get away from you. Pull me back.
There's some stuff that sounds funky because there's a bunch of disabled plugins, but
you so strong, I can't break it. You got a hold of me. You won't let go of me. She's the devil for you. Have you seen her? Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you so unseen. She's the devil for you. Have you seen her? Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you.
that's all I need to know why I scrapped it.
Have you seen her? Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you so deceived. She's the devil for you. Have you seen her? Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you so deceived. She's the devil for you. I feel it in my soul. I feel it deep inside. Try not to lose control.
There's something in the hook for sure, but like it's all over the show. Some of it sounds way worse than it should for disabled plugs, but there's probably the best moment, right?
Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you so deceived. She's the devil for you.
Do I come back to this 4 years later and maybe pick it up? Potentially, but I've got hundreds and hundreds of things like this. They're at this kind of stage that are basically scrapped, right?
Have you seen her? Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you so deceived. She's the devil for you.
It looks like a really long track, but this will actually be a completely separate version over here.
Have you seen her on the scene? She's the devil for you. My leader, she will leave you.
Right, same sound design, different melody ideas and whatnot. I do that a lot. I've done a whole video breaking that down, that I'll have the full track, a radio mix, a different alternate idea, and I just keep alternate ideas all off to the side. So there's basically 2 unfinished tracks here, just to prove my point. Like, never feel bad that you've had to scrap a track or it's not finished. Some don't even get this far for sure. Like, let's open up this. Got me curious now. I'm rewinding time like 4 years. Should probably go have some lunch and walk the dog. Don't save. Full HD me while we figure that out. Butchers. So honestly, don't even remember what this was. It's something that's been scrapped. If your house was decorated in old wallpaper experiments. To be fair, I've moved into houses like that. When me and the other half stripped our first house, there was some wacky shit going on. And there was one place we chipped tiles off, and there was like a walled mirror that they just tiled over because they obviously couldn't be bothered to smash it and strip it off. I kind of like this intro. Why did I scrap the track? We will find out shortly, I'm sure. That's why it was scrapped. I mean, there's some cool sound design in there for sure. I seem to have vocals in it for here for some reason.
You just walked away.
Fuck knows, I'm not even going to play that. Alright, that was a cool moment. I could take that. But yeah, my point being, like, you get a lot of people on this particular platform acting like everything they ever made was frigging gold. And they're incredibly lucky if that's the case, because I have to say, I make a lot of scrapped ideas and a lot of shit. Tell you what, here's one that's, I'm still working on this. This is from 2021. I'll open the 2021 version, because the new version I might finish one day. But this is another one that's gone through years of iterations, right? Yeah, the easier it is to make stuff when you're drunk, for sure. But you know what, right? Those ideas, they yield the moments that are key. I think we need to listen to just that at the start. Again, the ideas here, right? And the vocalist on here is an awesome dude.
I'm so certain that this won't fade away. I'm so certain that this won't.
So right there, that's the fundamental idea of where the current version's at. But this is 3 years later. There's another scrapped idea, never to be heard in the world, with the exception of that. This sounds awesome. It's still being worked on. The fundamental idea of that is there, but the structure and sound choice of that is just not something that I was down with in the end. There's a whole bunch of stuff, like I think Roughneck. So Roughneck's like a track that was really far along that was also scrapped. Again, Complete Control. Don't have the Complete Control anymore. Well, I say that, it's there behind me in a box going to eBay. Do you have this iLok? I do, but I can't plug it in, so quit. So we can't use Virtual Mix Rack, so that's just going to make a bunch of horrible sound for us. You, and we'll get rid of you, and anything that says Virtual Mix Rack needs to get disabled. Frozen. All right, sure. Whatevs. It's another one that was really far along that was scrapped. Sounds very good. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're actually listening through some of my scrapped tracks that I've, given up on the ideas of. Oh, Sleepy Lo-Fi Guy. What up, dude? You can tell this goes back about a decade from that bass. You know what, with a better mix, maybe that'll work. Again, hours and hours of work. I think the lead's actually alright in this. All the layers that make it up. Top. Sides. Yeah. I could maybe work with that, right? But again, loads of effort, scrapped. The master was clipping there. What, on your end? Yeah, it probably was, to be fair, because I don't think... it says minus 3.2. It doesn't look like it's clipped here. It's probably just an absolute god-awful version. What else was I going to play that, like, super far along? Scrap the ideas. Yeah, I'll show you the inside of Winter, which the only track I finished in 2020, to the point I was happy with. Is that the session for it? Is that the session for it? But even that, right? The original session here says it's from 2019. Then 2020 seems to be the finished version, which maybe makes sense. If I put it out in winter, I probably held on to it for a little while. But that would be fun if the only thing I put out for that entire year was in fact a tune from the previous year. In the Logic project, yeah, probably then. I was asking about iLok again. Yeah, it probably did clip in the project, but I usually bash a limiter on for streaming, but not necessarily when I'm working on a track. I'm not that fussed about it. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here that's not going to work. Empirical L, that should be installed. All right, if it's not, we'll take the loss because it's an old version. Disable all the CLA stuff. Bit low. Here we go. The only thing that I actually finished. What are we? 36 tracks deep. Not lots of vocals. Won't quite be the finished mix because there's some disabled plugs, but here I'll bash a limiter on for you just in case. Bash a reverb on where there's only a disabled sound, so we got an idea. It's the vocal reverb we're missing there. some processing, but it still sounds all right. Vocals a bit off. Here for what we were working on earlier, musically this idea is way better than what we were working on for sure, right? Like better sounds, way better, everything harmonizes a lot better than what we had before. That's where all that trial and error comes in. Even in this, you can see a bunch of muted out things where I've scrapped different ideas of vocals and harmonies and stuff. Like it's never this easy, put it all in one process. Anyway, I was going to go to about 12, gone to about 10 past. If you got any questions to throw in, guys, or anything else you want me to like break down while we're here, I will do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go have some lunch, take the dog out for a little walk, and probably sit off the rest of the day because I just don't feel like doing the project that I'm supposed to be working on. It's the King. Let's open up the King because I don't remember that project and I'm curious. Proof of the pudding though that I said I've got shed loads that are just scrapped projects, right? I can just grab an infinite number at this point. Right, this looked like it didn't get that far, which is probably why I don't remember it. It feels like I maybe watched Stranger Things and then did this. Hey look, we've got the same snare 4 years ago that I was using today. Alright, I mean there's an idea there, it just needs massively fleshing out. But again, another scrap one. Check out your drum tutorials and how to make... Well, alright, what we'll do... I might have said this, I feel like I said this yesterday to someone as well. Throw me a comment. I do read all the comments. I don't end up replying to every single one because I get a ridiculous amount. It might look like I don't get many views on my channel, but it's well over 100,000 a month, which is like thousands of comments. Leave me a comment. I'll try and come and do a live session and we'll just build a drum break together. And yeah, we'll just, the things that I talked about earlier, we'll go over literally how I put a whole drum break together. Just give us a reminder and I will see it. I'm going to open up one more scrap track while I'm here because I'm curious. It's kind of fun to go through all the old stuff. We've got one called That's Not a Knife. I got to watch a lot of films in 2020. That felt Stranger Things. Is this going to feel Crocodile Dundee? That's definitely where that quote's from. All just samples apart from the top one. What do we reckon? Hit or miss? Okay, sampled some guitar. Yeah. Case in point of why some ideas just have to be scrapped. Alright, last one, I promise. Don't save. You're welcome, dude. Alright, we've got some chords. Nothing's playing though. Oh, I know what this was for. This was a tutorial video for Instachord. Which we're allowed to scrap those, right? Instachord's not even installed anymore, so none of them work. Yeah, that's definitely a way to end the stream right there. All right, thank you all for joining. I am going to go grab some lunch, and yeah, if I still don't feel like doing my project tomorrow, I might be back for another stream. So here we go. I can feel the sarcasm in that comment. I probably should have named it better. Nowadays, at least I name my projects if I'm doing a video. All right. See you later, guys. Thanks for joining. Anytime, Dennis. See you soon.